What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D. Hey, make sure you're subscribed to my page. We're less than 600 subscribers away from 20,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys. So listen, Republicans, mainly Fox News, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and MAGAs, have had such a hard time dealing with any positive news about the economy for the last 4 years. So much so that they've conjured up these lies that anytime the market is doing well, it's because of Donald Trump, but when it's doing bad, it's because of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. So much so that they're literally every day getting on their airwaves trying to convince you that your life sucks. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter how well you're doing. It doesn't matter that, if your wages are up or if you got a new job. They want you to know your life still sucks. And it's all because of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. They're literally like, hey, you over there who's at Disneyland enjoying yourself. I know you think you're having fun, but listen, your life sucks right now. And it's because Kamala Harris has screwed you. Hey, you over there on the beach, throwing that beach ball around, playing beach volleyball. I know you guys think you're having fun, but listen, your life sucks right now. Hey, I know you got a new job. I know all your friends all have jobs. I know the unemployment rate is lowest it's ever been. I know the stock market is high and your retirement fund or your Roth IRA looks good. But listen, your life sucks. It sucks because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden suck so bad. Like, they want people to believe their life sucks so much because that is their narratives. Their narrative. It helps their rating, and most of all, it helps Donald Trump become president. So today, a jobs report came out, and Maria Bartiromo was hosting a panel of people waiting for this jobs report to come out. And they were having a conversation about it. And basically what you're going to see here is them saying, yeah, we're expecting the jobs numbers to just suck today. It's expected to be 150,000 new jobs. We're probably going to see 140,000 because, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they suck. But during that panel, the jobs number comes out. And the numbers were good. And the shock that they had was just unbelievable. Check this out.
Joni, what kind of a report are you expecting in 3 minutes?
Maria, I think this report could be a big surprise to us, either in the positive or the negative. But I'm going to say that it's probably going to be a disappointing report. Expectations are 150,000. We could see that number soften, certainly. Job revisions are going to be important to look at, and wages, certainly we'll dive into that as well. But I'm expecting to see some growth in construction, growth in healthcare, and hopefully start to see, the professional and business service jobs come back, as well as manufacturing. But all eyes are on it this morning, for sure.
Yeah. Joe Livornia, let me get your take here, because even the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jay Powell, has admitted that job creation has slowed quite a bit.
That's right. And those previous comments were spot on. If you look at the breadth, Maria, within the data, the diffusion index shows that barely half of the industries across the economy are hiring. That's a very good sign that the economy, or in the past has been a sign that the economy is weakening sharply. And the unemployment rate will be key. That is really what's driving Fed policy. If we get back to 4.3 or 4.4, that will matter more, Maria, than what the payroll data itself show.
John Lonsky, let me get your take on how important this report is. Markets are higher going into the number right now.
Well, it's very important as far as the depth of future rate cuts go. And I'll be focusing on what's happening to full-time jobs versus part-time jobs. Month of August, we had full-time jobs down from a year ago, while in August we had part-time jobs higher. That usually indicates the nearness of a recession.
Markets are viewing this report as positive. Markets are on fire right now. Dow Industrial's up 155. NASDAQ up 152. Cheryl, what are the numbers?
We came in much hotter than expected on the non-farm jobs number. 254,000 jobs were created. The estimate was 140,000. The unemployment rate dropped to 4.1%. We were looking for the rate to actually stay steady from last month at 4.2%.
Okay. So did you hear Maria Bartiromo say, wow? I imagine someone was in her earpiece saying, Maria, you're on air right now. You just said wow to a Joe Biden and Kamala Harris jobs report. You better turn that crap around soon. Because now one of her panelists starts kind of breaking down the numbers and then says, I know you think this is good, but it's actually not. Check this out.
But leisure and hospitality up 78,000, Joni. Your reaction?
Yeah, I've been digging into the numbers, Maria, and I'm looking at this. And of course, that headline number is going to, be a positive sign. And maybe that's why we're seeing markets up. But when you dig into the data in this report, you can see that those jobs are really created and coming from healthcare and then leisure and hospitality. Those are the two big sectors. Almost 160,000 of those jobs created in September came from those sectors. And to Cheryl's point, the leisure and hospitality are lower paying jobs. So then when you start to look at, manufacturing lost 7,000 jobs. Though construction gained, it was only 25,000. So if you really take out those two sectors, this isn't a blockbuster report.
Do you know how weird it is, how crazy and disingenuous that it is for her to say, if you take out that part of the sector and that part of the sector, it's really not that good of a jobs report. My nephew plays football. The other day, he had 7 catches for 250 yards. 2 of those catches were over 80 yards each. So over 160 of those yards were done on 2 catches. Imagine someone saying, if you took out the catch for 80 yards and the other catch for 82 yards, he really didn't have that good of a game. Yeah, if you take out the good part, the best part, and just leave the parts that were, not as good as the great parts, yeah, it's not that good of a game. But you can't take out part of the game. You cannot take out part of the jobs number so it fits your narrative that it's not that good. No, those exist in the jobs report, so they need to stay there. But then they get this other guy. He looks you straight in your eyes. He sits there, 10 toes down, looks you in your eye, and tells you that, sometimes when you see the stock market going up, that's because the polls show Donald Trump might win. But when you see it going up just a little bit, that's because the polls show Kamala Harris might win. These people are psychotic.
Well, Maria, I honestly don't think this is going to have very much of an impact, simply because the average American is living the economic reality of Bidenomics every single day. They have been living under the Biden-Harris administration for 3.5 years now. They don't really need these reports to understand that they are worse off today than they were 4 years ago. The typical American family has seen their inflation-adjusted take-home pay fall by $3,600 on an annual basis. I mean, people are demonstrably worse off. I don't think the average American is really swayed one way or another by these reports. So I think from that standpoint, the impact is really irrelevant when it comes to voting.
Okay, but certainly investors are looking at the election as far as policy changes. These are completely different policy agendas.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And I think that's very clear when you look at, for example, stock returns based on when Trump has been ahead in the polls versus when Biden or now Harris has been ahead in the polls. And one of the really interesting things is that during those periods when Trump has been ahead, the market has rallied significantly stronger than the times when his opponents have been ahead. In fact, it's an order of magnitude different. And so it is very clear that investors see the Trump policies, or I should say the policies of a potential Trump second term, as much more pro-business and good for investment than they do the policies of a Harris administration.
So listen, they've been trying this narrative for a while now. The stock market is up like 12,000 points since Donald Trump left office. It has been going up incrementally. So when people ask, what does the stock market mean? It means that your retirement fund has been bolstered. It means that if you're invested in the market at all, that's a good thing. It means that people who are going to retire, because remember, when Donald Trump was in office, we had a recession, right? We went through a lot with COVID. We lost jobs, all those things. People retiring during that time saw their retirement funds decreasing. Now people who are retiring have seen the funds that they lost during the Trump administration go up and add more to that. So if you're retiring right now, you're retiring with a nice chunk of money. That is a good thing for everyone. And the fact that the numbers are going up have nothing to do with the polls on Donald Trump. It was going up before Donald Trump announced. It's been going up when the polls showed Donald Trump were ahead by a lot. It went up when it showed that Donald Trump was down by a lot. It has nothing to do with him. It has to do with Bidenomics. The guy tries to say Bidenomics are bad. If they're so bad, why is the market going up? Why are jobs going up? Why is the unemployment rate going down? Why are you guys sitting there trying to convince people their lives are bad when people are saying, it's not that bad? And understand something. I am not saying that, we shouldn't see our groceries go down a little bit, or our gas go down a little bit, or our wages go up even more. But who's actually trying to see those things through? The Democratic Party is. If the Republican Party were trying to see those things through, they would stop blocking legislation to see your wages go up. We have not raised the federal minimum wage in this country for decades, and Republicans are the reason for that. So again, Fox News is having a hard time reconciling with the fact that they have to get on television and announce these good reports while Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are running the country. Someone give these people a hug. They need it. Period.